For more, I'm joined by retired Chief Border Patrol agent of the Yuma and Tucson sectors, Chris Clem. Also with us is the CEO and president of Strellmark, Hillary Fordwich. Chris, let's start off with you. President Trump says that these illegals are mostly from prisons, mental institutions. Is he right? Are these illegals mostly young men of military age who are clearly desperate to take advantage of America's kindness, and they're taking their criminal activity that they've done before, and they're just continuing on here in the U.S.?
Well, he's right. There's a large portion of the people that have been coming across that meet those descriptions. We know that specifically from the Venezuelan gang members that are coming across. We're not seeing the best and brightest just seeking a better life. We're seeing people that should not even be able to come into this country yet. We continue to have to process them, release them, and then we see the damage that they're doing. Not only physical harm and some of the heinous crimes such as murder that's happening, but we're also, as you pointed out, the amount of money we're spending to handle this problem, which could have been fixed if this current administration would just left things alone and work with law enforcement to make it better. But for years, people would say illegal immigration was a victimless crime. Well, let me tell you, in today's financial situation, it's not only costing us money, but it's also costing American lives.
Hillary, economically, as we're just discussing here with Chris as well, taking care of all these illegals, it's not feasible anymore. Massachusetts, it's drowning in their own illegal alien problem, far from the border. That's what people need to understand. Every city is now border city. There, over 100 illegals have been camping out at Boston's Logan Airport. And in the next week or so, they'll be booted out of there. Homeless shelters across the nation, they're overwhelmed. Talk to me about the stress that the illegal alien crisis is also putting on city budgets. We're talking about billions of dollars here, people.
Oh, yes, Lydia, you're absolutely right about the billions of dollars. And to link these two issues together, when Chris was just talking about they're not exactly coming the best and the brightest, the insane asylums and those that aren't sane of mind in the U.S. So this is affecting not when you say every city is a border city, every state is a border state. Well, think of this. Every American Social Security is at stake here. Why? Because every single month we spend $12 billion, that's with a B, $12 billion on supplemental Social Security, which is for disabilities. 85% of all payments in Social Security are for disabilities. Well, they're being given Social Security numbers. They will be given disability payments. So that is threatening the future of all of Social Security. That is unsustainable, as well as every single city's budgets. That's why you've mentioned this before. I've heard you say this before, Lydia. Your local real estate taxes are going up. Why? Because they're trying to find a way to get the money from you right now so they can fund this.
And what we're showing right now on your screen is all the other crimes that are allegedly being committed by illegals. It's not just those high-profile cases, the murders that we hear about. It's out of control. And then also, Chris, the folks working in New York City, they seem to think that, here's a problem, let's throw more money at it, right? The details are vague, but we also know about the $1,000 gift card. Now they're going to give about $350 a week to a migrant. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but it is, considering that there's at least over 200,000 illegals. Talk to me about how we can't handle this anymore. It's like we're busting at the seams. And meanwhile, you've got important programs that are being cut, and American taxpayers, they're just seeing their taxes go up and up. And to what? Pay for people that broke the law to come here?
Well, you're exactly right. There's a couple things I want to point out. Every criminal category that Customs and Border Protection captures has doubled or tripled under this administration from the previous administration. Number two, I know that when I was chief, we were spending about $500,000 a day. You combine that across the border, it's several $1 million a day just on the operations for processing medical, laundry, food, care for all the migrants that were giving themselves up and turning themselves into Border Patrol. Then we're reimbursing the non-government organizations who are facilitating their movement around the country. And then we know that several sanctuary city mayors and states have asked for $5 billion from this administration to cover those costs. So when you look at that, we're paying 3 times for every illegal entry at a minimum based on some of these statements that have been made, because this is what is impacting people, and we cannot do it. We're bursting at the seams. And then lastly, as we just kind of talk about this, This is impacting every city. And this virtual signaling, like they're trying to do something, is causing more problems. We need to end some of these sanctuary policies and go with more cooperating policies. So we work with federal law enforcement, so we maintain the integrity of the immigration enforcement system and stop this pull factor and really shut things down at the source and shut things down at the border before it impacts every American. And it's already doing that in the tax payment.
Right. We got to leave it right there. But then you also talk about the education system. They're going to overwhelm the education system, the healthcare system. They're still trying to cut police officers, but you got to bring in more cops, more teachers, you name it. When you've got more people, it's just the numbers, it just keeps climbing and climbing. Hillary Fordwich, Chris Clem, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you, Lydia.